ChatGPT. Everyone is talking about it. And I've seen a lot of people on my LinkedIn newsfeed saying that they created the perfect resume using ChatGPT, the perfect cover letter, the perfect article, whatever it is. They're experimenting, and I like it. And I even saw someone write some message to Mark Zuckerberg about why he should resign from Facebook, which was quite interesting. Nonetheless, what I really like about ChatGPT is its possibilities. And for that, I started experimenting because, I like to play with these things. So I asked myself a question. Can ChatGPT create a pitch deck? And the answer is yes. Okay, can ChatGPT create a pitch deck about ChatGPT and then design it? Well, the answer is ChatGPT will tell you that they don't design or that it doesn't design. So you have to be a little bit more creative. So I did a few things that we're going to see right now, and the result was a pitch deck that is quite good. You could use these techniques to create your own pitch deck if you want. I wouldn't say it's the perfect way, but I would think it's a very good way. So let's get to it. Hi, I'm Alanani, an entrepreneurship consultant in Switzerland. And here is how I created a pitch deck of ChatGPT using ChatGPT. So let's do this. So I started simple. I just asked, can you write me a problem slide of a pitch deck for a product called ChatGPT that is exactly the same product as you? Not being any weird or anything, just asking for a simple request. And funnily, immediately, ChatGPT did it. They just pitched a problem slide, a solution slide. Why did I start with a problem slide? Because the more I ask from ChatGPT, the more errors that I get. Like, this is, we need to regenerate. It's probably a server error due to the enormous demand that ChatGPT is getting. So in this case, I just started with slides so that, it would give me the problem slide and then I could populate more content on the way. Like the next thing. So I asked how about a slide called How It Works? And then it gave me a slide that says how it works with features and benefits. Even though I didn't ask for features and benefits, it's still not a problem. Why not? That's a good addition to the pitch deck. Continued with the business model slide. It gave me a business model slide. Now, when I read this content, the content is quite good. As many would say, ChatGPT is quite good in these things. So a lot of people that, for example, if I hire someone from Fiverr or from Upwork to create me a pitch deck about a product that is similar to ChatGPT, there is a very high chance that you would get this sort of quality in terms of writing. Only very exceptional people that you pay high budget for would actually produce a different result. So very impressed at the moment. Business model slide. I mean, the tricky thing is at the moment, ChatGPT is free for educational purposes. It doesn't have a business model. So I was wondering what it would say about itself. And it compared itself to subscription-based service like Jasper or like Copy AI, which they just immediately offer a subscription per word or so on. So ChatGPT is offered as a subscription-based service with pricing options based on the volume of text generated per month. Maybe that's their plan of monetizing. I don't know. I mean, it's very likely that it will be like that. But in all cases, they mentioned the business model, the revenue stream, and the partners and integration, which is okay. Not the exact thing that I asked for, but more than what I asked for, which is perfect. And then I asked for how about a potential team slide mentioning the founders of OpenAI. That's the company that created ChatGPT. Now, there is a thing you should know. ChatGPT always says that it cannot research information online. And that's, I think, what it said right here. I'm a large language model, and I do not have the ability to provide information about the founders of the company or anything online. So I tried to ask again. It still didn't answer. So for the team slide, I got nothing. I tried my best, and it couldn't tell me who was the team or who OpenAI is. But then I said, okay, then I thought about it. So ChatGPT cannot actually research the market, but I'll still try in a few moments. So then I asked, how about a potential financial projection slide? Obviously, it doesn't research the market. It doesn't do financial analysis in a complex way. So it doesn't have information about the market. So it couldn't produce a financial projection slide. So it said sorry. But then the interesting thing is when I ask about how about a slide called market analysis? And for that, it gave me a market analysis. The natural language processing market is projected to grow to 16.3 billion by 2025. How did it know that if it didn't research the market? was probably trained to know this information, but it's still quite interesting that this information was obtained. This is a perfect market analysis slide. It's good enough. It's not super perfect, but it's good enough. And competitive landscape, it just said a little bit about their unique selling points, but it didn't really mention the competition. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I want to know if it knows Jasper and copy and all these things, because if so, again, it's either trained to know it or it can research the market slightly. It can't. That's what it says. So how about a slide that says similar competitors to ChatGPT, maybe Jasper? And then it said, I don't know, I'm a fictional product, I haven't been trained, I don't know who Jasper is. But I said, how about a slide called other competitors? And then it says other competitors, and then it started saying some other competitors, and it mentioned Jasper amongst the others. So this to me is quite interesting. So you can't really research the market, but you know a few pieces of information that are good enough to create this pitch deck. Differentiators, competitive strategy, all good pieces of information. I never asked for them in specific, but they're still good. How about a potential go-to-market? It created a go-to-market, which is, again, really good. It makes sense. If you read the whole deck, it makes sense. Like it's a good business plan or a plan of launching and a good pitch deck to be sending to an investor. If you hadn't told them that this was created by ChatGPT, they would have never known. And now, the interesting part is, it does not design. If I tell ChatGPT to design this, they would tell, ChatGPT would say, I don't design. So what I thought of is, it can write an HTML code. So I thought, why don't you write an HTML code that would, of a page that has this information? So I'm taking it step at a time. So because if it can create an HTML code, I can ask for more information to make it look design friendly. So I asked, can you write an HTML that shows a problem? I tried with the whole deck, but it never finishes because it's too long. So it always generates an error. So the problem slide, it provided an HTML code for a problem slide that looked like this. It's a catastrophe. It looks super ugly, but it's a start. So then I asked later, add a link to font awesome CSS because I wanted to make a different font, and I did. And then I added more colors and make it in 2 columns. And it did do that. My information in HTML is quite good, but for those of you who don't know it, you don't need a lot of HTML knowledge. You can also tell ChatGPT to just put all this in one file, one HTML file. And then I added buttons. So this is how it looked like after a few iterations. I'm not going to go through with everything that I said. This is just an overview, but it looked like this after I added an icon. And after I added a title on the top right and added a little bit of color. I loved it. This, what I see right now, I loved it. It's good enough for the start. But I also added more color, asked it to add more color, and it resulted in something a little bit more colorful and added a button that has next slide. Now, this as a design of a pitch deck is okay, but the fact that it can do that shows that I could actually create a pitch deck, designed pitch deck, in an hour or a couple of hours using ChatGPT, which is quite interesting, and it's really good, you know, for the quality of it, for the time of it, it's a good start, or a co-writer would be perfect for this sort of case. So this is the problem slide. Now, if I wanted to create more, I would say just recreate the rest of the slides with the same design and everything. But again, I have to take it step at a time so that it wouldn't crash or wouldn't say that server error happened. And that's how you create a ChatGPT pitch deck using ChatGPT. So this was the pitch deck, or how to create a pitch deck about ChatGPT from ChatGPT. And the idea is, you ought to learn from this, is that the possibilities are endless. You yourself can create your pitch deck about whatever company you want. You can ask me in the comments if you want the exact code of how this was done. I've written a Medium article about it, but still I didn't put the code there. And you can ask ChatGPT yourself, and they're going to give you the code, or it's going to give you the code. So it's quite a straightforward process. Give it a shot. It's very entertaining. If you follow these exact instructions, you can even design it. It is a little bit time consuming. It took me around an hour possibly to design a deck, or to design the slide in the deck. But the beauty of it is you could redesign the rest of them by just a simple command. Redesign the rest of the slides. So that was it. If you like this video, let me know. So like this, comment, and subscribe so that I would make more of these. Have a good day.